So that's my Ace of Base story. Good morning, friends. Our count is going up. We have Mark. I see Mark, and we have Janet this morning. So we'll get the count up a little more, and then we'll get rocking and rolling so we don't punish the prompt. How has it been? How was yesterday? Somebody give me an aha from yesterday. Nobody. Is
Well,
your
you guys are
aha?
gonna have to lively up if you want to have a class that's worth anything. You're gonna have to lively up with chat.
Ooh.
That Ace of Base should have gotten your blood pumping.
I mean, we had
Really.
new kids on the block. We had Ace of Base. We had a little J Lo, like old school J Lo. A little Ricky Martin. We were pumping this morning. I'm good with the tunes. You actually have a new way. You should have an aha on how to mess with people with your Alexa if you're not now. So, what was yesterday, guys? I mean, I know what it was, but I'm asking you.
So yesterday was prospecting. He did throw one little statistic in there that I liked. I think it's easy to market to sellers right now, but he was saying on the buy side, he threw a statistic out there that buyers are actually paying $180 less a month in their mortgage payment right now with like interest rates compared to last year. So I like that number.
I love that. I love the cost of renting versus buying. If you can find those graphics or talk to your preferred lenders about co-branding some of that stuff, I think that stuff is so valuable when people can see, have we talked about door knocking a few times, right? If you're out and you're knocking doors and somebody says, "Sorry, I'm a renter." You have something in your pile of stuff that says, "Well, great, let me just leave this with you." And it's the real cost of renting, so you still are dropping some value on them. I love that. They are. Yep, they are very, very easy to find. And I think, but I'll have to check during while you guys are rocking and rolling. I think the Keller Mortgage app does that. And I have to double check it. I haven't played with it in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that does that. What else we got? Let's get one more aha from anything that you just want to share that's been helpful for you through this entire Ignite experience. Besides that, I have like ADHD of the playlist. There's a good aha as well. Come on, we're not gonna get going.
This is the interactive part.
I'm a little intense in the morning. I'm up since 4. So like I've had energy, like my day is half done, guys. I've been working for a while.
I have an aha moment.
Hit me.
So I liked it when we talked about cold calls and that there's also another version called a warm call.
And what was the difference?
A pretty cool designation. Cold calls, you just basically just find a number with a name, call them, see what's up. A warm call seems to be a little bit more directed, so that you either know the person, you know what's going on, you have some sense of what you're walking yourself into.
I like. All right, guys. Well, that was some great ahas. I'm sorry we had to pull it out of you. So hopefully you can shake it up. You can get your energy flowing through your fingertips because we have a great day with elemental marketing today. Okay. So as always, when I'm here, when we jump on Zooms together, what is my favorite thing? My moment of Zen, my Zoomrenity acknowledgement, right? So guys, we understand that we are learning in a new time in our lives. We understand that digital learning can cause fatigue, right? We want to invite you to take a moment to get present in the moment, clear your head, clear your space, and turn your video on. We understand you may have to turn your video off here and there, but please stay present with us, and we're so glad you are here. So with that, today we have Mark Kavanaugh. Mark, wave. The Cav, and then we've got Janet, wave. I am your chat moderator along with Janet and Mark, and we're going to be answering questions in the chat as well. But guys, this is interactive. Don't be scared. I mean, we've been here for what, guys? A couple weeks. Get off that mute. Ask questions, because that's how you get the most out of Ignite. Okay, Mark, do you want to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump over to Janet and we'll get rocking and rolling?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Mark Kavanaugh, the team leader at KW North Central, which is in Leominster, Massachusetts. We have offices along the Route 2 corridor, basically from Bolton out through nowhere land. And we have about 175 agents. I've been a team leader since 2007. So I'm one of the old timers in the team leader role in New England, and I'm super excited to be with you guys to talk a little bit about marketing.
He's the OG team leader, original gangsta.
OG.
All right, Janet, welcome, welcome.
Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Janet Pocaro. I am an adoring grandmother and a geek with a heart, and I love marketing materials. I just have to make sure I don't spend too much time on them. I'm a full-time, full-service agent in Chestnut Hill, and I can't wait to get back to the market center. And I've been teaching technology in the market center for a few years, about probably 5 or more. So anyway, I can't wait to see this class and get to know you guys. And we're gonna have a great day.
And you guys know me, I am Brooke Silva, your regional tech trainer and morning crazy person. I'll be popping in and out. And then, so the student links are in there. We are on Elementals Dose 2 today. And don't forget, the party continues in the Facebook group, and your 10-4 form is in there. I'll keep dropping these links, but have a fabulous Elementals 2.
Cool. Janet, are you going to be handling the slides for us? I have not taught this class just yet, so I can either share the screen, or I'm not sure if you were going to do that, how we're going to handle that.
I don't have the slides. I'd love to help you out another time, but Brooke, unless you want to take me offline and.
No, I can get you that link real quick, or if you've got them up, Mark.
Yeah, get me the link and I could probably do that for you, Mark.
Got it.
That'll be awesome. Cool. Because I am really bad. I'm working multiple screens here at once, and
No problem.
cool. Well, so welcome, guys. I have not met a lot of you guys here from around the region, and like I said, super excited to be here with you guys teaching this course. Today, what we're going to be going over are a couple of things. There's, and you guys have the student packet right now. There we go. Look at that. Boom. We're going to be focusing on two things. We're focusing on lead generating, and we're also going to be focusing on marketing seller listings. And so there's two. It's only like a 1-hour session, plus you guys get to pop offline and do some other work. So we're going to have to run pretty fast and a little bit at a high level. But as in most of the courses in Ignite, we want to spend some time actually doing some masterminding, learning the topics a little bit. And we're also going to spend some time doing. And so one of the more important things that we're going to spend time doing today is actually looking in the back end of Command and understanding how we can actually start to use some of the marketing materials there. So I'm excited about that one. I know Brooke's super excited about that one too. It's one of her favorite things. But let's talk a little bit about lead generating for buyers. So let's see where we go next. We click to the next screen. Boom, there we are, marketing versus prospecting. So let's start a discussion around that. I want to have a conversation with you guys. This is going to require that you pop off of mute to tell us what is the difference between marketing and prospecting as you understand it. Again, the interactive part, because I'll be quiet now. You guys go ahead and tell us. What do you think? Danya.
So prospecting, you have to find people. So it's the first thing you probably do before you do anything else. You got to find people to add to your database.
Sorry.
Okay, I agree with that, Chuck. That's definitely something that's happening during prospecting. How is that different from marketing? Because marketing, you're finding people too, right?
You are, but with the marketing part, you're at the point of selling yourself, letting them know who you are, what you can provide for that person. So yeah, you are doing it at the same time. You can prospect only, or you can prospect and market yourself at the same time.
So tell me, in your mind, what's one way to prospect? What does prospecting look like to you?
So I could go to an open house and hang outside, talk to people coming out of the open house, ask them how they like the home, ask them if they need a buyer agent. If they say yes, then it becomes a marketing situation. I hand them my card. I could start to talk about services I could provide that person. I could prospect at a grocery store. you know, if I was wearing a KW name tag or whatever, and start a conversation with someone. Someone could come up to me, start asking me questions, but then again, that would turn into marketing.
Okay,
So,
cool. I agree with that. I think some things are actually kind of a cross between both. Who else has a definition for what they think is prospecting versus marketing and how they differ?
I think prospecting is when you're speaking to someone and you're talking to someone and you start a connection somewhere. And marketing is general, Facebook ads, business cards. That's how I think of it. I think prospecting is actually physically trying to make the connection with the person.
So what the word that I use when I'm hearing that is proactive,
Oh, I feel like an idiot.
right? Jenna,
I miss that.
you're doing great. The word that I use, Danya, when I talk about that, by the way, have you guys read this book? You guys familiar with this book? So here's what I'm going to tell you. This is called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It was written by this really bright guy. His name is Gary Keller. If you were to turn to page 138 of that book, you would have a diagram of prospecting versus marketing. And I'm just going to go over with you guys what he kind of identifies as some things, since what I heard Danya say and some of the things that I heard Chuck say are that prospecting and marketing both effective. Prospecting is proactive. Prospecting, there's a sense of immediacy. So when I'm at an open house, I can actually meet somebody there. Does that cost me much money, you guys? Just go like this.
No.
Oh, no. Prospecting, for the most part, is very rapid. It can be very, very immediate, and it shouldn't cost you a lot of money. It does, however, require that you take action. Does that make sense? Everyone go like this if you understand what I'm saying. You're all on mute. Okay, so let's go back to marketing now. Here's the cool thing about marketing. Marketing takes two things that most of us don't have. It takes time and it takes money. Marketing is things, well, we'll go over a list of them in a moment, but it would be things like, hey, I'm going to put a sign on 495. 495 sign costs some serious dough. And they're going to have to drive by it 50 times, 100 times before they go, hey, that's Mark. I think I should probably call Mark. He's going to be my realtor. And so it's something where I put something out into the world and I hope that somebody responds to it, as opposed to I go out and I get them, like Chuck was talking about. I'm going to go grab them, or like Danya was talking about. And so the difference for us is that we all want to be marketing based because we think we're Nike. And most of us don't have the ad budgets of Nike, or insert company here that has a huge marketing budget. And so although we would like to be that, we have neither the time nor the money to do that. And so it's going to be important for us as real estate professionals to be prospecting based, to stay in the prospecting world. And then as we start to earn money, we can start to enhance that with marketing. And again, we'll talk about some of the less expensive forms of marketing as we go on, and we're going to practice those. So let's switch screens here, Janet. Boom, there we go. Look at that. Up at the top, marketing, money intensive. It is passive. It engages long-term results. It's like we said, it's going to take us time. It's going to take us money. It's a passive tool. Prospecting, going to take you time as far as you're going to have to do it now. It's going to be a proactive thing. I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to go knock on doors. I'm going to go do open houses. I'm going to physically be engaged, and it can produce immediate results. Okay. So that's prospecting versus marketing. Anybody have anything else aha-wise that they would want to discuss relative to our definitions of what prospecting is versus marketing is?
Isn't to a degree prospecting also long-term, because you're building relationships with people and sometimes they're buying 2 years later? Or am I not making the right connection?
So I would say your immediate prospecting, as long as you have follow-up, can turn into 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have follow-up, and this is where a lot of realtors and real estate professionals fall down, is they don't have any follow-up plan, and 2 years later that person buys. It's just not with you.
Right.
So yes, your prospecting can be a long-term as well, as long as you have good follow-up plans, and that's going to be key. Because the reality is that my prospects that I'm bumping into as I do it, they might be ready to buy now, they might be ready to buy sometime down the line. And so if you think of everybody as somebody that would be willing to work with you, that would be a good way to look at it. And so then the question is, how long do I need to be in communication with this person to make sure that when the time comes, they're still thinking of me as their agent? That's a really good point though, Mike. Absolutely. There is a line that Gary Keller would throw at you, which is that the true money is made in the follow-up, right? That's where the real professionals differentiate themselves. Okay. Anything
Hey,
else?
Mark, I sort of think of prospecting is to people that I've never met. And my goal is to get them into my marketing stream, because once I have their contact information, it takes them into a higher level. I don't know what you think of that, but that helps me to differentiate sometimes.
Good.
I agree with that. And I also think of this as an infinite loop. This is not a circle. To me, marketing and prospecting is almost that infinity loop, because sometimes we do lose touch and we do stop that follow-up. I hear so many times from agents that go, I stopped communicating with my neighbor and now there's a sign in the yard. The gut punch is always when your neighborhood has somebody else's sign there, right? So I think of these two things as almost that infinity loop of you've got to do both, but when do you do both?
Who else? Anybody else? Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Brooke, for the insight there. I agree with that 100%. Anybody else have anything they want to throw in? Marketing versus prospecting.
Don't forget, guys, it happens to us all. You come out of your house and you see that sign and it's, oh, but that's part of the game.
So I love that, Janet. Stay with that with me for a second. Whose fault is that when that happens?
Well, sometimes it's not your fault, but sometimes it is, to be honest with you. If you've been talking to that neighbor and staying in touch and sending them maybe your little newsletter or sending out your postcards, probably they're going to call you and at least give you a shot at the listing, right? But if you haven't been talking to that person, you'll never have a chance.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say 99% of the time it's your fault, right?
Yeah.
99% of the, unless there's a Hatfield McCoy thing going on there, it's 99% of the time it's like you did something and the thing that you did was stop talking to them. You stopped communicating with them. They didn't remember that you were a realtor, or they didn't have the relationship with you that they probably should have. And that's an us thing, guys. That's an us thing. So.
And that's a mindset thing, right? We think we're bothering them. You've got to get rid of that mindset. You've got to get rid of that.
Cool. Let's flop slides since we have finite a period of time and we're rolling through this. So think deeply on marketing. Boom, there we go. This is a similar graphic to what you'd find on page 138 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which is where they discuss the difference between prospecting and marketing based. And again, I'm going to encourage you guys to focus on that left side, the prospecting based, and then the middle, because those include the prospecting elements. And then the marketing is going to be enhancement stuff. And we're going to, again, go over some of the marketing things today because we're going to focus on the ones that are less expensive. Wow, look at that. We're going to go into an infinity loop, just like Brooke was talking about here. So prospecting based, those are some of the activities that we can do. So as we're doing those, someone throw us, which one of these have you seen and tell us what it was. You guys have never seen prospecting? Which one of these have you done?
So for last week with Red Day, my team, we set up at a local country club here. I'm a big golfer, so we had a table set up at the country club like all week long for like 2 hours a day, and it was a great opportunity to kind of outreach to the community and meet a lot of people and give back in that same way.
Awesome.
So I've done some. Oh, sorry. I've done some circle prospecting where you're calling around telling people about an available house that's coming on the market. Doesn't even have to be your listing. And all of a sudden I get someone on the phone who's selling their house off market. And there you go.
since we're talking calls now, would probably be a good time for us to remind you that there is such a thing as a do not call list in a national registry, and that you guys need to be following those rules. Do not be the test cases in New England for that. They tend to be large lawsuits, and they will throw everybody's name in a hat and everyone gets sued equally, and it's lots and lots of money. So make sure that you're following your rules. If you have questions about that, talk to your brokers and or team leads or whomever in the office is responsible for that. So Brooke just popped in the chat, the TCPA, the guidelines relative to that. So okay, cool. So Adrian, come back to me for a second here and talk to me about, so you're saying you're doing some community outreach at the golf course. Tell us what that looked like and what the response was to that.
Yeah, so Red Day was last Thursday. So starting like the previous Thursday, a team member, myself, we had a table set up at the golf course. We kind of reached out to the owners. They were super helpful. So they just allow us to like really set up a table right at the front of the country club there. So whether it was like a golfer or someone going into the restaurant to eat, they were going to have to pass us. So we just kind of introduced ourselves, say we're doing a food drive, we're local agents with Keller Williams. And we just said we live right on the golf course too. So it was a good way to, one, just introduce yourself as, members, and kind of, and allow them to know that we're agents as well. So we had our business card set up. A lot of people took business cards. A lot of people just kind of stopped to ask about real estate, and we had a bunch of people donate as well. So it worked out really well.
That is awesome. Check out both guys. Number one, farming. You guys think that if Adrian lives in that community, do you think that's also farming for him? Let's go like this. Yeah, these things bleed into one another. But what I would say is this, as we're kind of looking at the focused way that we want to do these things, there's all these options on the prospecting side. Let's go get some immediate business. There's the combo deal, and then there's the here's how I stay in touch with them. So like Brooke was saying, there's this infinite loop happening back and forth between these things. And when done correctly, it's very, very powerful because the reminders hit. The people who met Adrian in that neighborhood on the golf course now, if he sends them a postcard, they go, oh yeah, that's the guy from blah. Does that make sense? Now he's just reminding them. And that's the beauty of having prospected and made the connection. Otherwise, marketing is going to take that time. It's going to take the time of building up, and he's going to have to hit them again and again and again and again. He's already created the, I know who that person is at this point, and now the marketing actually just reinforces that. Okay, cool. Who else has done something in the prospecting world? What are some things that you guys have done or seen that you think might be effective? And Lisa, sorry, your golf course doesn't want you to be there hanging out. Letters do work. Tell us about the letters, Lisa. This is where if I had my sign, Brooke, I could say you're on mute, Lisa. But okay, so here's the thing. Letters, where do letters fall?
Sorry, I'm technology
There we are.
challenged.
You're back. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm sending out letters. I'm actually using the letter to circle prospect around a listing that just went pending.
Okay.
And so as opposed to door knocking out in the country, which is highly ineffective, I mean, it's nice, but rarely are people actually even home. So anyway, the letter just puts me in front of them, lets the neighbors know what's happening, that property is in fact on the market, what the details of that property were. I'm just sending out a simple letter letting people know that I'm trying to help buyers and tenants find housing, and have they thought about selling, or do they know somebody who would? And I have several different letters that are all scripted a little differently, but effectively letting people know that we need help and we'd like to help them. And so anyway, that's a marketing piece, really, just to put my name in front of them one more time. These neighbors are passing my sign, and I'm printing out the MLS listing. And then as other properties around the area are going pending, I'm including those in my mailing. And some of these people I've really highlighted, like I've known those neighbors for a long time. They should be marketed to on a more regular basis. So they're going into command and getting on smart plans, neighborhood nurtures, and the snowball goes on.
Very cool. Anybody else done circle prospecting? You've heard circle prospecting twice now. Once relative to letters, right? What has anybody ever gotten a listing or gone around a listing that even if it wasn't theirs and like done this, knocked on a door? Do you guys know that there's no do not knock list that we're aware of? It's not illegal to knock on doors. Yeah, by the way, I'm not going to say you won't get shot at every once in a while. I will say that for the most part, it's a safe thing unless it says do not trespass at the bottom of the driveway. And here's a little script that I used to use when I would take a listing. I would go knock on the door and I would say, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I don't know if you've seen yet, but I just popped a sign in the yard over at the Smith's house. And I wanted to let you know that we're going to be hosting an open house. One of the reasons I like to do that is I know that if I had my neighbors moving out, I'd want to say, hey, best friend, come move to my town. So I wanted to give you that heads up, and we're going to be hosting an open house just for the neighbors from 10 to 11 on Sunday. And so we'll be hosting that, and the mortgage person's going to be here serving mimosas and Bloody Marys, if you're so inclined, or croissants, whatever you want to do, right? And then the public open house doesn't start till after that. And so the cool thing about that, you guys, is that I'm not paying for that, right? My mortgage guy pays for that. The other cool thing is that when the public open house actually starts, there's 7 or 8, by the way, this is pre-COVID times. Wait till May 29th in Massachusetts, we'll be able to do that again. And what happens is that there's 7 or 8 or 10 or 50 neighbors hanging out who are all having a, I want to see this house party, and talk to the neighbor one more time before they leave. It creates this sense of urgency for the people who show up. I know in this market that's not quite as necessary, and yet there are times, believe you me, at some point it won't be like it is now, and it's a cool way to do things. So, and you just go talk to the neighbors, and by the way, you go knock the door again later on, and then you go knock the door again later on. And by the way, speaking of open houses, have you guys read this book? And there's a huge glare on it, because one of my favorite pages in this book is on page 71, where they talk about a 7th level open house, about don't just stick a sign in the yard and hope that it's going to work for you. Go out and actually proactively prospect around it.
So true. And if anybody was on Mega Camp or Family Reunion and heard about this, door knocking is nobody's doing it anymore, and it's the untapped resource. So if you're in a place where you can do it, and do it the right way.
I found by scanning some neighborhoods and finding where the turnover is high, having those little clear door knocker plastic bags, and visiting more than once. So try to get by maybe every other month. And I really start to get to know the neighbors that way. I bump into them in the store in town, and they get to know who's Janet Porcaro and think of me when they think of real estate.
And can we give a shameless command plug? Because guys, this is where tagging and making sure you note things in your database is huge, because you don't want to knock on this door and pretend like you've never been there or haven't dropped something off. So if you are farming, tag these people as farm_Main Ave or all the things. And also, one of my guys always had dog biscuits with him in his pocket and asked ahead of time. You make more friends with the dog people by having cookies for them. And then make sure you write down the dog's name in their database.
Wicked smart, you guys.
I've taken my granddaughter along, and she is turning out to be a little real estate star, and people love it.
Yeah, props are good. That includes people and pets. So it makes you seem a little bit less frightening to people. So anyway, I know that there's a session on open houses. I do want to keep moving on this. So let's, does anyone have anything else that they want to talk about prospecting, both marketing, that they would like to touch on? No, Janet, shift us. Okay, so now, Brooke, quick question. Do we break out into groups for masterminds, or do we just stay as a group on these topics when we have opportunities to do this? We don't have it set up to go into rooms, do we?
We could if you would want to. I always leave it up to the instructor. I kind of, with marketing, because we have 2 huge marketing brains here, I kind of think the whole group would benefit from a large mastermind.
Let's do it. Let's do it then. So we've got some time. We're going to answer some questions. There's 5 questions there. It is 9:31. We want to save ourselves about 20 minutes to get into the actual marketing technology tools that we're going to be going into. So let's do this. Question number one, how do we know where the customer is and how do we meet them there? This is going to be an interactive part because it's going to be speed round.
Quick, unmute. Go, 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 go. Not Janet, somebody else. Adrian, I see you, friend. Because you're on my screen.
So I've just kind of been thinking about the kind of people that I would like to market to, or who I'd like to work with. Again, kind of going back to the golf thing. Anytime I'm like by the golf course, I'm trying to outreach to as many people as I can there on the golf course. So I could always market somehow to those customers. I also really like investing. So I've been, in contact with a bunch of financial advisors in the area, but those are kind of my thoughts as far as target marketing, kind of some people that I'm thinking about.
So guys, is that geographic or is that demographic or is that both?
Both.
Okay, cool. Who else has got one? How do we know where the customer is? How do we know?
You can just ask them, tell me a little bit more about your timeline. When do you hope to move? When do you hope to sell? Or when do you hope to buy?
Okay, good. Yeah, asking actually works, you guys, right? Aaron's right on that. Yeah, actually asking questions is really, really beneficial because we get answers sometimes. But let's think about for ourselves. Let's go into Adrian's example of a golf course. How do we know where those are? How do we know where those are? There's this really cool website, you guys, called LMGTFY. It stands for Let Me Google That For You. And if you type that in there, when people ask you a question that's really, really stupid, you can go to letmegooglethatforyou.com and type in the search, and then you can send it to them. It's actually a video of you showing them how to Google the same thing that they just asked you, which is how most of us should find a lot of information. So golf courses, by the way, are pretty easy to find, right? You type in a list of golf courses near me, and you're going to get a big list. And now you can go start, again, figuring out what the appropriate ways are to market, prospect, et cetera. Okay. So that's one way we can find customers and meeting them there. Is there someone else who has something aside from golfers that they would like to focus on?
Well, I can focus on some higher end neighborhoods.
Okay, so higher end.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in what Janet said, and I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. And maybe Google is the answer. Finding that high turnover, the particularly high turnover, higher end market.
I would say that Google might be the answer. The other answer is broker metrics. The other answer is your MLS. It can tell you what the turnover rate is. If you know how many houses there are in a community, and then you go look at MLS, it will tell you how many of them turned over last year, and you can get a percentage. You can do that specific to neighborhoods too. So it's a really great way to start spending some of your time and figuring out what is, because guys, sometimes we might want to work in a neighborhood and we go, that's the gazillion-dollar neighborhood over there. There's 1,000 homes there. And guess what? Only one sells every 10 years.
Right.
And do I want to spend all my time marketing there? Maybe not. Or at least I definitely need another source of business as well, right? I might choose to be there, and yet I might also choose to focus on something else because I know that the turnover happens at a more rapid pace and I can actually eat during the interim, right? So, okay, let's keep moving down the list here. But the bottom line, guys, is that we are going to do some soul searching for ourselves and figure out who's the client that I want to be working for. Who's my missing persons report? Is it geographic? Is it demographic? What is it? Is it a price point? Is it first-time home buyers? Again, we can do that for ourselves. Specialists get paid more than generalists, guys. Specialists get paid. Generalists are generalists. How do we communicate our value proposition when we get to them?
We did value prop, didn't we?
So you guys have a value prop.
They do. Are they scared to tell it though?
Yeah. Do you want us to script it with you, like you're a client or something?
Would you like to?
Yeah, sure. I just don't know how to come off with the value proposition because I don't have mine fully finished. So maybe someone else should take it from here.
Give us the first 5 seconds of it, Nick.
All right.
Why would I want to work with you, man?
You want to work with me because, I want to assess your needs. I want to find out your plan. Okay. I'm always willing to go the 9 yards. I'm willing to get dirty. I'm willing to paint if I have to. I'll go in your backyard and pull the weeds. I have plenty of time I'm busy, but you know, as a new realtor, I can definitely put you on my schedule. I'm very accommodating towards, you know, if you call me at 8 o'clock, I know it's late, but I want to get this job finished, and it's more about you. So I'm going to put my schedule around you, and this motivation, this is something we're going to get done for you. So working with me, I feel like it'll benefit you more, because with the seasoned realtor, maybe you won't get as much time with them.
Okay, may I coach you for one moment?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing I would say is this: I love what you're saying. You've said a couple times that you're new, and that in my mind says inexperience. And so, you know what I would say? I would either accentuate that and say, hey, Nick, you know why it's important? Because you're going to be my first client ever. I'm going to build my entire career around you, and it's going to be a long, long, long career, and it's going to be amazing. So you're going to get the most important service that you've ever seen. It's going to knock your socks off. That would be one way to take that. The other way is to not talk about that at all, right? And so you get to pick. Am I going to say that you're going to be the basis, you're the foundation of my career, or if not, don't talk about it. That's not relevant. You bring in what it is that you've done in the past that's going to create options for them. So when you said, when I ask you, hey, what's the reason that I want to work with you? I would say, geez, Nick, quite honestly, I don't know yet. Let's sit down and have a conversation about what's important to you, and we can figure out why. But I can tell you that I'm willing to make sure that if it's not a good fit, we don't need to do that. But I'm quite confident that I can meet your needs. And that puts it back on them about you tell me why it's going to be important. Does that make sense? Okay. So how else do we communicate our value proposition, guys? Do it in marketing, do it in prospecting. Marketing does it for us sometimes, particularly if we use clients, right? The client says how awesome I am. It's no longer me bragging about me. So consider that methodology. We're going to keep moving. How do we come from contribution or connect in a meaningful way? We've already heard one example of this.
My apologies. It kicked me out of the video chat. I lost internet connection.
I thought I scared you away, Nick. I was
No. Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. How do we come from contribution or connect in a meaningful way, guys?
I think by trying to get personal with like what's important to them, then it's more meaningful in that way. Like even just trying to know what their kids' names are, what their dog's name, then they feel we're more connected and more invested in them.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
I think just being genuine too. I think people can, sniff it out pretty quick if you're kind of just being that, dirty car salesman kind of person. So just being real and genuine and authentic to who you are, I think goes a long way.
And I add, I think the mindset, because you never know who's going to be the next customer. So I always go up and say, hey, I'm Janet Pocaro. I'm a neighbor and I'm a local realtor. And I act like they've been my friend for life. And that kind of sets the ground work up for them to feel comfortable talking to me.
Agreed. It's interesting when you think about coming from contribution. What would be the opposite of that, you guys? What's the opposite of coming from contribution?
And making all
and
about
benefits.
yourself.
Yeah, coming at it with it. I want this. It's about me. And we talk about in a lot of our courses, if you get what we call commission breath, that's the desperation. I need the dough that bad that it's no longer about me helping you. It's about me making money. It stinks. People don't want to be around that. And that's what Adrian was talking about. That's the car salesman-ish thing. And most car salesmen aren't like that because they wouldn't last if they were. And the reality is that sometimes we can get like that. And so I would wish for you that never happens to you. And if you sense it's happening, you need to go mind check yourself, because you're gonna knock people's socks off in the wrong way, and they're gonna run for the hills. So
Right. People talk either way. And what do you want them to say?
right. So how important do we think the branding and aesthetic consistency is in our marketing, and how do we achieve something like that? And Brooke's excited about that one.
This is my favorite. And for those of you who follow me, you can see that I have a very specific brand, right? KW has a very specific brand. So I love this one. Anybody? I have a hint. It starts with a big C.
Starts with C,
Consistency.
ends with a man.
Consistency, great one. Yep. There's also these tacky strips you put on your wall and they don't ruin things.
And
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Command.
Command and consistency. There's some consistency in command. If we change who we are every 10 seconds, people lose us, right? So we can market to different segments of the population, and the reality is that the branding for that segment of the population should maintain consistency. And it would be nice if it could be consistent throughout as well, if you can. Not always possible, and yet could be. All right. So the way to achieve it, by the way, again, guys, command. It's a beautiful thing. They build stuff out for us. How do we follow up with leads we generate from our marketing? This is, again, where the dough lives. Okay, look at Brooke dancing, guys. This is an easy answer.
Command.
Yeah, command. Okay, cool. Let's switch slides because we're running short on time here. Okay, look at that. Take action. Creating and posting marketing materials in command. Let's switch to the next screen. Oh, tech demo.
I got you. I'm gonna do this. I've got this one for you guys.
I was gonna say I can either take over, or Brooke's much better at this than I am. She's the technology specialist.
You guys know I love this, right? So, pro tip: get your marketing profile done. You guys can all see my command, right?
Yes.
SpongeBob is my best client. Just in case you are thinking about taking him, you cannot. Design updates is something I always keep in the top right. If your marketing profile's done, everything pre-fills, guys. And if you don't know what to post, guess what? We give you things. So 2 things. We've got design templates, and then we've got campaigns. Now, campaigns doesn't mean paid, and I'll show you why in just a moment. We're going to get through this a little quick. So now I have a ton of design templates here. When I get to designs, these are all the things I've already done. You can see I have a bajillion because I play in this all day. And then look at that. Do you see some type of consistency in design? Can you tell what my favorite color is? It's that bold purple. And print. So again, these are all the things I've done. So to get going, you hit that print button at the bottom right. I'm sorry, the plus button, and then you pick what you want to do. But here's a secret squirrel place you can go. So if you go import PDF and next, what it does is it brings you to an area where you can put more assets into the designs library. So you're able to go in and dig in more. You can add fonts. I mean, could I get any nerdier? I have a Star Wars font in there built in for things. I can change my color palettes, add more logos than just the one you have dropped in the marketing profile. Smart text you want. If you want to click and put your hashtags in like I've got right here, you can do that. And then you can go right back to templates and start picking things. You want to do jumbo postcards? We got jumbo postcards. You want to do flyers and letters like we talked about? They are there. And if you take a peek, you can see that brand consistency exists. Find one of the designs that speaks to your soul and stick with it. So watch this. We've got buyer's presentations. We've gone over the listing presentations. We've got some lead gen stuff, right? If you want to promote your website, I always like to do the social square, but what we're going to do is just click use and it's going to be there and all our marketing is ready to go. Now the other thing inside command is campaigns, right? So it's the little squawk box, it's your little megaphone, and this should give you the visual cue to be like, this is how I market, this is how I push things out, me, this is about me. All right, but guys, when we hit campaigns, look what it does. We've got quick posts because some days we wake up with no energy or ideas on what we should be posting, especially as a new agent. Well, we've got you. We've got you, and there are things to post. These are called quick posts, and I love these. Got a piece of property sitting on the back burner? Put on your oven mitts because this market is heating up. And you can even change it to like market because we're in New England, right? And some sellers are getting offers at higher prices. Guys, they wrote it for you. They put emojis, and all you have to do is hit the little arrow, decide if you wanted to go now or in the future, and you're done. And look at images, logos, all my stuff. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The other thing that's in here that I love is a calendar, because I'm huge on time blocking for marketing. I hope my bosses don't think I am sitting here all day posting on Facebook, because I utilize the ability to post on future posts. So on a Friday, I will have an hour block for marketing, and I'm scheduling my week, whether it's my bet on red or the growth call things. And I'm getting those things in a calendar on here. So it's like a Ronco. It's a good rotisserie chicken. Set it, forget it. You got dinner at the end of the day, and your marketing is done. And there's even more posts here under social posts. So you've got something to constantly talk about. And I love these. All right. I went over a lot.
Brooke?
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a quick question, and maybe I missed this earlier. Is there a way I'm assuming there is, in Command to link it to my Facebook page so that when you're doing this, I'm assuming you're setting this up?
And here's something super important, guys. You need a business Facebook page. This does not connect to a personal, and really you should not be doing real estate business on personal. Can you post things from your business page on your personal? Absolutely, but you are hurting your business if you don't start on your business page. So you should put everything on your Facebook business page and then share it to your personal. All right, to do that, you go to your name and you go to settings. And then right in the applications, you can connect to Facebook post scheduling and then ad manager if you decide you want to do Facebook ads in the future, the paid ads. When you do this, you log into your personal, and then it asks you which page would you like to connect to. And then from there, you choose your business page, your Facebook business page, okay? And then you go back to campaigns, and we know it's there, and you can post away. Also on this dashboard. Yep.
Can I ask a question on that section there where you had the, versus the paid Facebook and the automatic posting from the calendar?
Yep.
How does the system know which one to go to?
You are telling it, I want a social post or I want a paid ad. And if you look under the social ad, it says paid.
So if I'm going to do it right from command, like you were saying, the automatically designed ones, I just click on social post and it'll know to connect that way.
It will. So with the paid ads, you have to go through multiple steps, choose what you want, and approve all of it before it goes.
Okay. Thanks.
And you can see down here that my regional tech trainer page is selected.
Thank
you. Now for the mailings, can we do it through command and pay for it through there, or?
Boom, baby.
So we can send out like postcards?
Boom, you can.
That's crazy. All right.
It is.
That's amazing.
There's so many small things you can do, but I will tell you, start small with this stuff. Get to know designs, get a mouse. Designs likes a mouse. It does not like your little finger on the trackpad, because we are doing design work. So get a little cheapy mouse and get to know what you like in there and pick an aesthetic that works for you and something that calls to your soul. If you don't love the red, guess what? There are gray ones. You don't love the gray, there are red.
Well, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Quick. I'm sorry, but when you said we go to settings and then we go to where? We go to settings.
And then you find Facebook in there somewhere. It might not be in the same order mine is in, because I disconnect and reconnect all the time for training. But it should be, you should see the big blue F.
Okay. And I will just click on that. Facebook post scheduling. I see yours says Facebook post scheduling.
Yep. And then you would just connect, and there you go. You just put in your Facebook username and password. It's probably remembered on your computer, and you're off and running.
And that will go automatically to my business page?
You have to select the page once it's there, but yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mark, how we doing on time?
We're at 9:51. I was wondering, have these guys seen the community videos yet?
Those are.
Show them the community videos, guys. This is a pre-made for you, 30 seconds to get it done. Let the people in the community know what's going on.
You're talking about these neighborhood videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is you will put the information in, you'll pick the neighborhood and the information. What do you know about the neighborhood? Is it farmy? Is it a foodie? All these different things, but you might not be able to hear. Let me just stop for a second and then, well, it'll be okay. So it's got this cute little music and it goes on and it says, these are what's happening in your neighborhood, and it gives the stats. So you could make Mondays about market stats, right? And it says, what's the average home price? What's the average price per square foot? What is, I forget what the next one is. How many homes are for sale? So this one might be a low number, right? But that's a great thing. We need homes. Average days on market, it is going to be way lower than that. And you do have to do a little data dig for this information. And what are they saying?
It's tied into the back end too, guys, of the neighborhoods. The neighborhoods are not always accurate in New England, so you might have to pull out and choose something else and change the data like Brooke was talking about. But it's literally 3 or 4 things that you're going to change. And so after that, it creates this 30-second video that is really, really cool, nice little audio. And you can post that, like Brooke said, make it a regular habit to do this in the areas that you want to focus on. So for me, I live in Groton, Massachusetts. I would do this for Groton every single week. On Friday or on Monday, I would pick a day and I would go like, this is the video that I post every single week, and I would have it time blocked. Do it.
Absolutely.
How do you edit that?
Oh, on that one, you go to designs and you go to start a new video. And then from there, you search the neighborhood. Let's see if it'll work for that.
Yeah, I'm really confused between designs and campaigns. You keep bouncing between the two, and they're seem
connected,
far away from each other on the margin.
Think of it like this, Lisa. A design is basically one piece, and a campaign is multiple pieces.
Okay.
So the campaign is at least 2. You know, you could do it with one, but that's literally just a design. So a campaign should be multiple steps of you thinking, what is it that I want to do? And the reminder could be every Friday, Mark gets a reminder to go post a new video, and then make the video. And so it can remind you those things. The design is where I would actually create the piece.
Yes. So designs is where you make your marketing. Campaigns is where you deploy your marketing.
Thanks, that helps.
Right, so you're just going to go in and verify this information using MLS PIN, NARIN, the Connecticut, whatever you use for your MLS. If the neighborhood data is not correct, because again, this was drawn by realtors in next door who created their own neighborhood. So just because this says Bedford, New Hampshire, does not mean this is all of Bedford. This could be the neighborhood called Bedford. Then you go in and you pick anything you want to say about this neighborhood. All the little info, because our marketing profile is done. Look at that. Ta-da! Oops. And my brokerage and next. And then it generates it and it gives it to you to share. Quick thing. So time block. I'm a huge time block person. My whole day is time blocked. Even my home life was a little time blocked. But once this is done, it gives you the ability to share it on multiple mediums. You could text it to people, you could put it in a smart plan, and it's super cute. I won't get into the whole thing because it's the same thing we just saw.
Yeah.
But then,
Quick question. Sorry to interrupt. So I'm following along, and I just want to make sure, because this seems really cool, how I would do it. So I've gotten to the templates. Now, what template was, like, how do I find that?
it's under
So it's not
video.
an email, it's a video? Okay.
Yep, under designs, video, next.
So guys, here's the steps. Go to designs, click on the plus button, choose video.
And
that's it.
It's the only one.
It's gonna walk you through.
That is really cool. Okay.
Yeah. Walk you through the process. And by the way, you could do more than one community.
You could.
And then you could go post them on, again, for my example, Groton, Massachusetts. I would go to the Groton page and post that video once a week, because no one's going to stop me from letting the neighborhood know what's going on in the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be my page. I can go just drop it there if I want to.
Is there a video that goes through the steps that we can look at a later date? This is a lot to write down and stuff.
And don't forget, you can replay this at any time. And your market center tech trainers, know how to do this like this. So talk to the techie people in your market centers, watch for our trainings on Thursdays, and watch for the different ones that pop up on Connect. There's a million tutorials on these different things, but you've always got this as a replay.
Guys, there's 11 applets over on the left-hand side, right? There's 11 applets. All of them are crazy complex if you get in there, but they're super simple to use, and don't feel like you're going to break anything. Go in there and play around. And so, by the way, the only one that I would be concerned about is the 700 steps you go through that are pretty basic to say, are you sure you really want to post this for paid ads? That's the only one that's going to cost you money. So everything else, you can play and go learn how to do it. So, and again, the reality is just go pick one thing, go pick one cool thing and do it and make that a regular, and then pick a second thing and then make that regular. And it's the consistency, and it's time. It's time on the task over time. That's what's going to start to create this for you. So again, some of us like to communicate via text. Some of us like to communicate via social. Some of us like to communicate via email. Pick the one that speaks to you most, and understand that's not everybody's style. So you're not going to hit everybody with one thing that's social. It doesn't work that way. So we start to kind of layer our business. And don't forget, you still need to proactively prospect. It's not just this. We still need to do other things. You looking at door knockers? You're showing them door knockers?
I'm looking at all kinds of stuff. I'm just poking around and showing them. Once you've got all those things built into your marketing profile, now I just get to click, drag, and drop and put things on. This is all pre-done for you, right? You've got to make sure you are following. See, I don't like that. That's why I put in all the different logos, see if it looks good, right? And always use the PNG files that are available to you. If you use JPEGs, you get those big old ugly white boxes around things. When you use PNG files, they're transparent. Your designs look so much more professional. That's what I wanted to show them on this stuff.
Can you show them one more thing? We are short on time. I want them to get one more thing. Could you just show them swap a picture?
Oh, absolutely. This is one of my favorites. So there's all kinds of photos available to you, stock images. Remember, guys, if you do not own the rights to a photo, you may not use it. If you want to use something from a listing and it's not yours, you should get written implied permission from the agent. If you're okay, just don't pirate pictures. But you can look at house interiors, house exteriors, whatever you want. So check this. I've got this big teal box around. That means I've got that image selected. When I come over to the right, see this little arrow image? When I click that, that replaces out the image. And I can do that until I find whatever I want to replace that. Oh, I like that. We're going to go with that. Right? And so that may look, some of the images aren't, that they give us are Austin images or California, right? I want New England images. And then if you don't see any you like and you do end up buying a photo or there's something else you like, you can add that right in, right? So here's my background I use for a lot of things, right? You can plop anything that you have the rights to in.
So by the way, you can grab listing photos from listings that are yours or from any of the agents in your office who've given permission. That's what Brooke was talking about. So if we wanted to do a search for 123 Main Street and that was Mike Mahoney's listing and he said, yeah, you go ahead and use that, Mark, I would go to 123 Main Street. I can create a flyer around that and say, hey, we're hosting an open house here. And so it would be cool if you knew a listing that was in your community and you got permission from that agent to market it, you can do that. And you can use that for paid ads to collect buyer leads, or you can do it for marketing on social or whatever you'd like. Just need to have permission.
Correct. And all you're doing is popping an address or an MLS into the KWLS, and then you have access to all the photos and the listing details. Right. So now I'm telling you, not many top agents in your market centers are going to say, please don't market for me. Please. Oh, God, how could you? Right. They want you to bring people to their open houses and buyers. So all the information's right there for you and you can stick it right in.
Brooke, you said something about see this little arrow over here on the right and then boom, you were doing something. I did not see what little arrow on the right. My eyeballs are going all over the screen. I can't follow you.
So I have this all selected with the lines. When I hover over my images, You can add an image or replace an image. And I go with replace and it plops it in.
Lisa,
And
if
the
you
same thing,
That's to the left on my screen.
if you added it, Lisa, it would create a second photo in the box and drop it right on your screen.
Oh,
So you don't, if you're trying to replace that image and choose a different picture, you don't add the image, you just replace the one that's there currently.
yeah.
you said arrow to the right, and in fact, you're on the left.
Okay.
I wish we could highlight the presenter's cursor. You know,
So,
make it
oh
look
yeah.
something so we can follow it more easily. It's hard.
So,
Design can be fun, but it can be time consuming, time block.
so Mark the Nerd and Brooke the Nerd have talked a lot about command, you guys. We have like half of the pages left on our thing, but here's the thing: it's a chance for you guys to be able to look at someone else's marketing and see who it's targeted towards. And so what I think is, Janet, we can pop it up and scroll through it really quick. And if you guys can stay for 5 more minutes, we can look at it and talk about those things. But the reality is that the most important things that you can do are understand that both prospecting and marketing are important, right? They achieve slightly different things. One is a sense of immediacy. You can get it quickly and with low cash output. The other is going to take more time and it's going to cost you money. They're both cool. Most of us don't have the time and money right now, so you want to be prospecting focused. And then understand that those marketing pieces that Brooke was just showing you, you pay for them. It's wicked expensive. It's $25 a month to have access to that entire suite of tools. So use them. And understand that just go learn one, whether it's the video, whether it's how to make a social post, whether it's how to do a paid ad. They're all wildly powerful tools that most agents would get their eye teeth for. And so go spend some time playing around and or hook in with the tech trainers in the office or regionally, or if you prefer to do it at 2 a.m., go watch some videos because they're all out there for you. And again, whether we could see exactly what it was that Brooke was doing or not, because we've all got bad eyeballs, or at least I shouldn't say that. Half of you guys have great eyeballs. Mine are getting older. And so what I can say is this, there's a video that shows you how to do that too. So Lisa, if you need to see that one, you can type that in there, replace photos, and you can just start putting in the knowledge base. It'll tell you how to do those things. Are you guys cool if we skip looking at someone else's ads and figuring out what they do for us?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. So I know on the video that we generated earlier, it said average home price. Do we generate that ourselves? And if so, will we be doing that through like our MLS area market reviews?
So likely yes. And if you had chosen a neighborhood and the neighborhood boundaries were accurate, then it would work automatically. It would know what that number was. It would be pulling based on the neighborhood information. So if you type in Southie in Boston, it's going to pull up Southie in Boston. By the way, most of the major metros have pretty accurate lines. It's when you get outside in the burbs that the lines aren't accurate. So it will automatically pull that information for you, Nick. And if you wanted to tweak it and change it, you can. And so it'll say the market's gone up based on last week, or it's going down, it's trending up, or it's trending down. It's automatically to do that, but it lets you click a button that says, no, I want it to say it's neutral based on what I'm seeing, or it's high, or it's going low, or it's not really a place for people who drink coffee, because it's going to say, it's the neighborhood people who've said, no, this is a coffee neighborhood. And you go like, no, this is not a coffee neighborhood. This is a super great bread neighborhood, whatever it is. It's a vino neighborhood. So you get to choose. There's 3 or 4 things that it says, these are things that the people are saying about the neighborhoods. You get to choose them. So we're focused on those. You would say, I want to focus on the people who like wine. We're going to do the wine thing, even though, it automatically defaulted to the coffee crew.
All right. And you should know your numbers. Know your numbers.
Yeah, that's true. It helps you in conversations.
Regional, local, national, 3 different big things, right? Know your numbers. You should think local news, think Boston news, and then think big news outlets. Okay, follow it that way.
Can we customize the music on the videos?
No, sir. And you don't want to. Those were built by psychologists and the marketing people and highly voted on. And then they're going to start to know. So when it comes up on their Facebook, they're going to know, this is my market update. This is my market update.
All right, it makes sense.
By the way, Jason, with regards to music, don't just go grab music. Just like with photographs, there's copyrights on music. So unless it's something that you have the rights to use, if you go pop something in the back of your video, and for those of you who've done this on YouTube or anywhere else, they'll take it down and tell you you're about to get a lawsuit.
Oh yeah, I totally know that. No, I make my own customized music, so that's why I ask.
Cool. I was gonna say it's mostly the Ace of Base that's really coming after
Yeah,
Hey, you can
stuff.
use my music, Jason.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll have to talk, Nick.
So there's a few more things. Again, there were some ads that we were going to look at. I can tell you that one was for doing open houses, one was for doing something else. They're targeting to specific audiences. It's a good idea to target specific audiences so that we actually hit them where something is important to them. Let's look at the last little bit. On page 6 of your participant guide, I believe that it says we're going to do some ahas. What do you guys have for ahas today? This is the interactive part again.
Honestly, the video was definitely a haha because, you know, I've been digging deep into command designs, and that's something I rarely just ran past the whole time. I see it, but I've never clicked into it. So Brooke really, you know, brought my attention towards that.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely the videos and the Facebook feature. That's awesome. Definitely gonna dig into that today.
Yeah, and guys, we're doing the techs are doing a Facebook business checkup this Thursday. I'll post the links in the Ignite group, but every Thursday 1 to 2, we have tech classes that run. So if you're not hitting those classes at your market center, dudes, make BFFs with your MCTT. I know those were a lot of abbreviations. Your market center tech trainer is your best friend forever. We love to help you build business. Do not be scared of us. We are not just nerds here to pour the Kool-Aid on you. We are business people. We want to grow your businesses first.
Well, and remember too that if you guys missed that one, I would say you're being a clown right now. You should go to that. 100%. You should all be there. Because what I can tell you is that your partnership from Keller Williams to Facebook is so powerful. Nobody else in the industry has it. And so if you just let Facebook do its thing, they basically say, we're going to treat you better than everybody else because we love you more. And so I would highly recommend that you spend a little time tapping into that because they love you more. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Okay.
Sorry, I have one question for you. We don't have a market center tech person in Newport, Rhode Island right now.
Okay.
And I'm feeling very like, wow, I really need help in the tech thing, even to set up my app on the end and to set up my Facebook business page and things like that. Is there someone else I can reach out to? Because even some of the people in our office are more like, well, I did it a long time ago, or you know, they don't seem to, I'm looking for that like resource, and that's where I feel that,
Yes.
Right.
Check with leadership and see where they recommend. They might have a partnership with somebody else to help you get that figured out, or can point you towards the classes regionally that will get you what you need, or internationally. There are classes at all 3 levels: your local classes, your regional classes, and the international classes. So there is definitely there's something you can tap into, Pam. We'll take care of you. So check with leadership, make sure we're not sending you in the wrong place, and then we'll get you to what you need.
Yeah, because some of you guys have, you don't have a market tech trainer. You might have someone called a tech ambassador. But this is important. So check in with them, because sometimes it's your MCA, your AMCA, it's your director of agent services. There is somebody that you just may not realize also handles this piece. So checking with your leadership, but check the classes we got going out, because all the tech ones are workshops. We show, we do. We show, we do.
I like the calendar, Brooke, that you talked about, where you can plan it out, say Friday for the rest of the week, and so it automatically posts. Will that be on your tech trainings, or I just Google it and say how to set up the calendar so it automatically posts?
Yep, you just got to pick the post. I can get some. I will try to curate a list of links today for you guys. It may not come out till tomorrow. That will help you guys, some how-to videos with my best buddy, Marty Miller. He's an important name to remember in the KW world. And if there's anything I can put up there for quick how-tos, always request it, and I'll get those up for you if you do not have a market center tech trainer.
Another suggestion is, in my market center, there'll be maybe a mastermind of 2 agents who sit down together and say, let's walk through this. Let's do a Facebook post together. And that helps a lot. You sit down side by side on the computer, step by step.
Yep. Marty Miller has a brand new 66-day challenge. I will get that link out to you guys as well, but he's one of the best because, yes, and follow me as well, Brooke the Nerd, on all the things. What Marty does is he chunks it down on Facebook into little pieces in order, because if you guys want to do these things, you got to have your marketing profile done. If you want to send emails to people, what do you think you need? You need their email addresses, right? There's all these little pieces that lead up to the bigger picture. So you want to call people, what do you need?
Numbers.
I know, but that's scary. So let's not talk about that yet, right? Some of them are still scared to make phone calls. So I'll get all those links out to you guys on the Facebook Ignite page. Let me pop that link up one more time before we get through the wrap up. And don't forget, you've got that 10-4 form to be logging those activities. Make sure you're doing the Marty Miller 5.0. The 4.0, still valid, but just know that some screens may change and look a little different because Command is constantly being updated because it's by agents for agents.
Awesome. So guys, I don't want you to miss this component. Brooke just said the daily 10-4. So let's go back through what that is. Who's going to remind us what's the first thing that we do of the 10s? If you guys have gotten this far through Ignite and don't know what the 4 10s are, I'm going to spank somebody. That sounds like an HR problem. I'm not going to spank anybody.
Conversations.
I'm just going to reprimand you.
10 contacts added.
What?
10 contacts added.
We had 10 contacts. Okay, perfect. Now, if that's true, how long have they been in Ignite at this point, Brooke?
Oh man, this is a month. This
Okay.
is 3 weeks.
Ish. We'll call it 20 days ish. 3 weeks. We'll call it 3 weeks. 3 weeks times 5 days. That's 15 days of 10 people in. If you have not got 150 people in your database yet, you're not doing your homework like you said you were. I'm just going to call you out on that right now. And it's not to call you out. It's just to let you know, don't get hung up in the stuff that's not as important and forget to do that part. That's hugely important. So do that. What's the next 10?
10 conversations.
Thank you. 10 conversations. That can be on the phone. It can be in person. It's got to be an actual, you could, some people even count text messages back and forth. I don't know if you guys do. Depends on what their age demographic is, right? We might count that. What's the next 10?
Handwritten notes.
Handwritten notes. Let's go back for 1 second. 10 conversations a day. What's important about those conversations?
Real estate.
Maybe.
Different R.
Relationship?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just asking you guys a question. Here's my answer to it. I don't care what the import is of it. I want to make sure you make a note of it in your database. Because when you have that many people in your database, when you get to 150 people in your database after 15 days, you don't remember who you had conversations with anymore. And so you don't remember that the dog's name was Fluffy and that you gave it a biscuit today. I want
Where
you to
do you
remember
put
those.
that note, Mark? Is that in the description? Because that's where I'm putting it right now. Is there specific
Notes? There's a notes section.
notes? Okay.
Click the plus button and it's the money symbol.
Dollar bills. Got it.
Dollar bills, y'all.
So, okay, so good. So I just want to make sure that you understand that when you have those conversations, make a note of it, please. And if they're not in the database, go back and put them in the database. You were supposed to do that already. So, okay, by the way, this is a cool thing to do. Understand that when you do 10 people in, if it's the same 10 people you talk to, it makes it really easy. They're in the database. So that's a really good thing to do. And then the follow-up on the third one, someone just said it was to do the handwritten notes. If that's the same people, hey, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. It makes it really easy because they're in the database. You had a conversation, you followed up with a note. Doesn't that make sense? Everyone do this. Yeah, cool. Okay, great. Even if you did it with one person, 111, the daily 1, it's better than the daily 0. So make sure you're doing those things and follow up. Do those things. You put them in the database. You have a conversation, make a note about it. You follow up with a note. Hey, thanks for taking the time. And then you go preview some houses. That's the last 10, right? Okay. So I'll get off my high horse now, but go do those things. It's not, this business is not complex. It's simple. It's simple. What else, Brooke, before we wrap up? And Janet, what else we doing? We good?
I think we are fabulous. This is my favorite elementals. This is my jam. So look forward to seeing what you guys do and put out there for some of your social media. Again, look to the Facebook group. Is everybody there? Did anybody notice that I did one of my videos with a Snapchat filter on? Not one of you commented on it. Just so you know, you have to watch me. I'm out of control. So even if you don't want to learn, just watch for what shenanigans happen in your region. Hit the Facebook. That's also a great place to ask questions before the next Ignite. That is a continuing Facebook group of support for you guys throughout this whole process. And then how many of you have joined the growth call? Does everybody need the link to the growth call?
Yes, put it in.
All right, so let me do this. This is your next clicky. Ready? Go. Go. This is my favorite group. This is craziness and more shenanigans. We give you more free things. We give you scripts. You guys are always like, but do you have a script for that? Yes, I have a script for that. You want more social media posts, things to put out there, right? We give you a this or that Thursday thing every week. So every Monday, 2 p.m., everybody go to your calendar right now, time block that half hour for me. And the links to the resources and how to get on those meetings are right there. We give you a ton of ways to grow your business with marketing for free.
I'm gonna throw one last thing out to you guys because it just dawned on me, and then we're gonna get you guys off your homework. I know that some of us have a hang up about being salesy, and so I know that last week we had a really cool event called Red Day, and that many of you participated in Red Day. And one of the best things that we can do for ourselves, and Adrian talked about this, he was at Red Day, he was doing some things on the golf course. If we actually just have those comments on, I'm trying to raise money for blah, here's something we're doing in our community, here's a charity that's in our community that I'm passionate about. You don't feel salesy when you do that typically, if you're passionate about it. And so what I would recommend that you do is spend a little time figuring out the things that you're passionate. It's not always I'm grabbing for dollars. That's not what it's about. It's about, here's what I'm trying to do for our community. And that's a really passive and it's a really powerful way for you to build relationships. So if you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't do this, I'm not picking up the phone, like Brooke said, I'm scared of the phone, and I'm afraid of marketing because it sounds salesy, then stop being salesy. Don't be salesy. Come from contribution and you will feel good about it. That's the last thing I'll say. You guys are doing awesome. Thanks for being here. Janet and Brooke, thanks for participating with me and being my my mouse. You guys have a fantastic afternoon and get your homework done.
And if you have questions, ask me in the Ignite group. I'm going to go put a post out right now that says marketing questions from today's elementals. Drop them there, and during the day, I'll jump in and add more things as we go. All right. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Make it a great day.
Hi, guys.
I'm just going to watch you all leave like a creep. Go. You got to go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, right?
I have a quick question.
Who that? Where are you? I can't see.
Sorry, hold on.
Oh, hey, Nick. No, I just couldn't find the little box.
Hi. I'm just wondering, why did it end early today? I was a little bit distracted. You guys might have said why, but I wasn't
Elementals are smaller.
Oh, okay.
Spark is the big one. Elementals is the follow-up to Spark Ignite.
All right. And is the videos from yesterday posted yet?
You know, I'm not sure. The region usually posts those up there. I can check in with them. It's supposed to auto post, but Zoom just does not like to auto post those for us lately. So I'll check in with them and see about getting those up.
Sounds great. Thank you, Brooke. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Brooke, quick question.
I better see all your faces on the Facebook thing with me Thursday, by the way.
Quick question. What's the exact Facebook group? Like, I see a bunch of Ignite. I'm trying to get on.
I'm going to give you the link right now again. So did you grab the growth call?
The growth call. I don't know what that.
Here.
No.
Oh, so hold on. Let me get back to my linkies.
Sorry.
Hold on. If you saw something, don't ever have as many tabs open as I do. Hold on. All right. Go like this group right now. This is the growth call. This is going to change your marketing.
Oh, so join group.
Yes, do it. And then here is the Ignite one coming at you hot. Oop. Ignite. Wait, did I lose him? Did he leave me after all that?
No,
Oh, no,
I'm trying to do it.
Sorry.
Yeah, my son's iPad.
It's all right.
That's
Brooke,
okay.
I'm having trouble. I'm
Go
having
ahead.
trouble getting on the Thursday one, the tech one.
Oh, let me repost that link for you as well, all by itself. I think it's because I added it with something. So that one, you just register. If you go in there right now, you might have to copy and paste that whole thing in where it says bit.ly.
Okay.
And then go in, and then you can pre-register, and you'll get a Zoom confirmation, and the day before and the day of it will also let you know.
What the hell? I don't want to end.
Don't end the call. Don't end the call on me, Keith.
Oh, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to. I can't see you. I'm blind. Not exactly what I was hoping for. Okay.
You want me to email you the link since you're playing on an iPad?
I hate iPad.
Well,
Okay.
why are you on an iPad? So what's your email?
All right, I'm back. Don't you miss me, right? Okay.
I missed you. What's your email? And I'll just send you the links real quick.
kmar@kw.com.
KMARH.
No, MAR.
Oh my God, thank you for having a smart email with a difficult last name.
Yeah, no, I was told to do that. So
Yeah.
I put a request in for Ignite to have that. So you have to, approve me?
I'm going to just send you the links in case you're not getting in. Tech class, Ignite group, growth call.
Hey, Brooke, could you send them to me too?
I can. What's your email?
It's JaniceREO@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Give me just a few minutes. Anybody else? Nobody else is paying attention.
No, but thank you for today. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Nick. You know how to find me. I'm glad you had a Snickers and updated your value prop.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for that insight.
You got it. All right, link for the class, and then growth calls, the last one. Anybody else going once, going twice?
Hey, Brooke, once we register for your tech, does it automatically put us in it so we can go in each week, or do we need a link each week?
No, ma'am. Every week it'll send you a link or it'll
Okay.
put it on your calendar for you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. I'm out. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Thanks.